Hey guys, my name's Mike, and welcome to the open mic.
What's up, guys? We are back with the Open Mic Pod, episode 7. Crazy to think we've already done 7 episodes, but as you can see, this one is a little bit different structure. I actually brought in a good friend of mine who has moved on to a new comedy scene, but he's been having a lot of interesting things going on where he's at, so I just wanted to get him on. So, ladies and gentlemen, would love to introduce my friend Michael Zipay.
What up, my guy? Good to see you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, good to see you too, dude. Yeah. I first met we first met obviously at Clearwater Comedy Club, doing some shows there. Shout out to Kenny Garcia.
Go
You
ahead,
know,
dog. Yeah.
so how long have you been? So tell the viewers where you moved to.
So, okay, it's the 24th. I moved here. I'm getting close to, I'm like 2 weeks away from being 2 months. I moved here on October 7th, and that's an easy date to remember. You know what I mean? Because it's when Matt McCusker dropped his special. Right? Nothing else happened on that day, as far as I know. I don't think anything else happened on that. I remember that. There might have been a giant historical event in Israel, but
I was just thinking that, yeah, but who knows? Who knows? As
Yeah,
long as we know that.
I got here October 7th, and yeah, just been chilling here ever since. I got the RV in Florida and drove it up to Nashville. I was there for a couple months before I left Florida, and then we just drove it down here, found a little RV lot, found a little job next to it, and we just trying to do as much comedy as we can.
Yeah, no, that's cool, dude. Yeah, because you hear about people like saying, "Oh, like I'm gonna go to Austin, bro. I'm gonna make it. Let's do it. Let's send it." But that's cool that you actually took action, took the
Yeah.
RV out, and yeah. So you've been out there for it's like a month and a half. Then
Close.
yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, so how many? So I guess just like initially, like, obviously you hear a lot about the Austin comedy scene with the Mothership, Kill Tony, and as well as all the other comedy clubs there. But how's it been like doing comedy out in Austin as opposed to how it was in Florida?
So it might surprise you, but honestly, like I prefer performing at like Clearwater compared to most of the places here. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of good clubs. Like the Mothership, obviously you can't beat it. Creek in the Cave is awesome. Shout out to them. Shakespeare is a really good spot. Roscoe's. There's just like this reminds me of Nashville, but if you replace like all the country music with comedy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause it's just you
Yeah.
throw a boomerang, you could hit 5 comedians on the street anywhere you go. But performing specifically, unless I'm just now kind of starting to get booked. Like I got booked at Shakespeare's on Friday, then I actually hosted the showcase on Saturday at Shakespeare's, which was fucking insane. I
Wow.
stumbled into some shit there. But I'm booked again on Tuesday at like Gnar bar, and that's really the way to go about it, because if you just hit open mics around here, it's just straight comics in the crowd. And so it's like it almost, you can develop bad habits. Like it's really not the best like test to see if you have a great joke. I mean, if it's a really good joke, like if the comedians are laughing, it's a good joke. But I like to compare it to like it's like you're a stripper on stage stripping for other strippers.
That's funny.
Yeah, you're up there like, yeah, you're trying to show your tits off, but they all sitting there with their own tits. Like, why do you look at her tits? Like, I got my own tits. They're just like catty bitch energy. You know what I mean? That's weird. But yeah.
Yeah, so no, it's funny you bring that up because I've heard like Chappelle mention it before, where like he hates watching people do comedy because like he views comedy as like his chick, and it's like watching other comedians do comedy. It's like, like, why are you like fucking with my chick like that? So
I feel the
kind of
same way watching baseball somewhat. Like I still feel like I'm a pitcher somewhere inside me. Like I'm just like, oh, give me the fucking ball. Like unless it's professional, it's a different level. But like if I'm ever like near a rec league, you guys want to like hop on the league and strike out, hop on the mound and strike out some little leaguers, but still.
yeah, dust off the spikes and take the toe the rubber one last time. Show
Yeah.
who's boss.
So show them what a 29-year-old man can do to an 11-year-old.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is true though. Like it's like that is the energy of most comedians. Like in your if you're at an open mic. So it's just like it's good to try new jokes and get a little snicker here and there, but you're not really getting too much information, from the crowd. So like I really do think it's great. Like don't take it for granted, like how you've gotten your start even at Clearwater the same way I did. That's such a perfect place to start doing comedy, man. Like getting to perform in front of real crowds like we were and like you still are, like that's a really big weapon actually. Like you'll be a lot more prepared than a lot of comics here if you come here.
Mm. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that is a nice luxury because that seems to be the problem. I was talking to somebody that does comedy in Kansas City, and he says same thing where it's like they have like good mics, comedians show up, but the crowds aren't great. So it's hard to tell, get good feedback. But that's what's nice about having a place where it's vacationers, fresh crowd, there to have a good time, and yeah, I guess we are lucky to have that here in Tampa. But so how? Yeah, so I guess how have you been like? So have you been networking with some of the other comedians? Like how are you like getting booked on shows?
Yeah,
A month
man,
and a half.
like this whole town is about just like being in the right place at the right time. Like I swear to God, just drag your feet somewhere and you'll probably find something that'll help you. Like my fifth day in Austin, I was at a Sunset Strip and
Okay.
I was walking up the stairs to the Sunset Strip, which is Red Band's club. And as I was walking up the stairs, Heidi and Valerie Vaughn were walking down the stairs. And they were carrying like suitcases. And I was like, oh, here, I saw they were they were just women struggling with carrying heavy bags. And I was like, oh, here, let me help. And I looked up, I was like, oh, fuck, you're Heidi. Like, what the hell? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, can I get a picture? Like, got a pic with her, walked down the stairs, had like a whole conversation with her. And they said they were on the way to go do their podcast, the Shout Out Love on the Line show. And they invited me to come on. And so I was a guest on Heidi's podcast my fifth day here in Austin, Texas. So like I said, just the right place, right time. And then the next day is when I got my name pulled on Kill Tony, even though I didn't get to go up. But I was on a real fucking heater for like a week here, which is crazy.
Yeah, now that's a crazy story in itself, right there. I mean, I was trying to Google before you got on. Has anyone on Kill Tony gotten their name called but not gone up? Because I haven't watched all of Kill Tony. There's so
Yeah.
many episodes, but yeah, I mean, you gotta be one of the first, if not the very first, that's
I,
happened to.
I do think like it's definitely happened before. I don't think it's happened in the way that it happened to me. Because I've heard plenty of stories being around Shakespeare's and stuff now, and like around the mothership about how people will be too drunk or they'll be in the bathroom pissing and they miss their name getting called even and stuff like that. And it's just like that's their fault though. Like you kind of if you're not paying attention and you miss your spot, that's on you. But I told them like when I signed up, I told them that I had tickets to the show with the little boy. Um, and the little boy's the other room at the mothership too. If anybody doesn't know, it's the little boy and the fat man. They do Kill Tony and the fat man, and they have an open mic every Monday at the little boy. So I bought tickets to the open mic thinking that would get me on the open mic, but turns out it's just buying tickets. It's still like a bucket pull for the open mic kind of. Um,
Gotcha.
and I told them where I was going to be. I told them I was going to be at the little boy. And I literally, like, when I walked into the mothership, I told a girl, like, hey, I got my wristband. Like, I signed up for Kill Tony. And she wrote my name down on a piece of paper. I watched her write it down. And she just didn't come get me. So, yeah.
Dang, dude. Well, yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, so that little boy, that open mic, is that I'm surprised that hasn't happened more often because I know so I signed up to do Kill Tony
Okay.
December of 23. Yeah, so when I was like brand new to comedy, yeah, I signed up and I remember I think it was Shakespeare's
So you were here in Austin. Was it at the Vulcan still?
so it was at the mothership by then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know they're doing open mics like in the holding room for people waiting to get their name called, but it definitely wasn't the little boy. So, do a lot of the the open micers at Little Boy, do they also sign up for Kill Tony?
Yeah, so the way they set up the little boy is I think so. There'll be a giant line out in front of the mothership at like I want to say 5:30 ish. I think they stop around 6. But if you just sign up. It's basically another bucket pool. You just put your name on a list, and then they'll pull, I think, 20 names, maybe 15 names, randomly, and then you'll get to do like 5 minute spot in the little boy. And then so like the first 10 to 15 comics are open micers, and then the last like 10 to 15, like I saw like Lemaire Lee, Sean Gardini, Jamar Neighbors, a bunch of big comedians come afterward. Hassan Ahmad, he was awesome. So yeah, it's like you get to share the stage with some like real big comics, just putting your name in the bucket. So the open mic really is kind of the way to go. You also get like 5 minutes compared to like a minute on Kill Tony, you know. And they've staggered it to where you can hit the open mic and still like the open micers are done by the time Kill Tony starts. You know what I mean? So you can make both. But I had tickets to the show. I wasn't like on the show. And it was my first time there. And so I was just like, well, I got tickets. I didn't get into Kill Tony. I was on standby. That's another thing. I was in standby for Kill Tony because if someone doesn't show up, they'll let you in. They'll let like 10, 15 people in. You can buy tickets at the door. And usually it's usually about 10 to 15 people get in. I was like 10th in line. They let 8 people in. So that if I was just in the room too, I also would have been able to be on Kill Tony, but I was that close in that regard as well. But yeah.
Man, and it's like, what are the odds too? Because I know when I went, I think it was probably like 100 something, like 120 people signed up, but now it's way more than that, right? It's probably like what, like 300 plus a night signing up?
Like 200 to 300 every single night. Yeah.
Yeah, no, see, that's insane. But I mean, if you get on and that's like instantly, like what they probably get a couple million views an episode. Like that's instant exposure. So
I've already been around like a bunch of people that have been pulled. Like I've had a few of my friends already pulled. Like there's this one guy named Alex who he was here from New York. He had just put his name in for the first time like the week after I got pulled. And I was telling him about my whole story, and I was like, "Yeah, man, like that happened." And he said, "Well, I put my name in the bucket for the first time tonight." Like he was talking to me. We were sitting at the bar together the whole night. I don't think he barely talked to anybody but me. And then he was like the last bucket pull. He got pulled. I was like, "No fucking way!" I was like, "This guy took my luck." Like I gave it to him. Like shit. And then literally like, the next week, my buddy Tomac, he's a comedian from Poland. He's actually like a headliner in Poland, but he's kind of like relearning how to do comedy here in America, like in English, which is a crazy thing. And he was sitting right next to me. He got pulled. It's all it's great. The girls, Ashley, I'm at my friend Ashley Steinmetz. I'm at her house right now. She got pulled. She was on the episode that I was supposed to be on. She was the first bucket pull. And then she ended up like taking me home that night, which is crazy. But
dude, I mean, it's got to rub off. That looks. I mean, you're just around it so much. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you're the lucky one, and people are just getting your luck from you, and yeah, they're kind of taking it from you.
it seems like, man, I need to keep my cards closer to my chest, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, and I remember like talking to somebody that said that they signed up like 52 times, and then like I remember like the week after I left, he finally got pulled. So it's kind of crazy. You could be in town for one weekend, get pulled, or you could sign up for like over a year, every night, every week, and
there was 2 that I've seen. There's a guy named Jose Ayala, who's a funny comedian around here. I met him on like one of the first open mics I went to, and I saw him at Kill Tony. He said he signed up 86 times before he got pulled, which is like
86. Holy shit,
fucking years, basically. And also Dedrick Flynn, the newest like golden ticket winner on Kill Tony. Or actually, he's not even a golden ticket; he's a regular now. I met him at like the first open mic I went to, and I was like, "This guy's cool as fuck." And then he won the regular ship like right in front of everybody. That whole place was like screaming for him because he works at Sunset, and I didn't know how tied in he was, but I was like, "Oh, it's my boy." Every time I saw him, he was like, "Hey." And now he's like traveling with Hans Kim, and now he's on the road. He just did his shows in Atlanta and shit. Like instantly, just took off for him. He's a maniac too. He's incredible.
Yeah, no, he's a powerhouse. Like I watched the episode where he got the regularship, and you could tell he's been doing it for many, many years. And so you think that I was wondering if they maybe staged that at all. But no,
No,
that's legit. Like
no, that was 100% legit. Like he was up there, like he hadn't he said he signed up like 30 something times, like 36 times or 35 times or something like that. And I had seen him around Shakespeare's and stuff, but like when he ran back up there into Shakespeare's afterwards, and he was just everybody was just screaming for him, bro. He was losing his fucking mind. Like that was the most hype I've seen somebody ever. Like that was very natural. You know what I mean? If they staged that, great actors all around. You know what I mean?
yeah, I guess yeah. No, that's why I think that's why so many people really like watching the show. It's like you really don't know what can happen, and even like people that aren't like comedian aficionados, it's they love the show because you never know. Like, and that's why I kind of felt bad for you a little too, because after that you missed your opportunity. Timmy No Breaks did his thing, and even like say that I feel like if the next guy bombed, Tony would have been like, "Fuck, we should have had Zip. Zip would have, saved the show." But like Timmy, he stole
Dude,
the show
it would
that
have
night.
been right in between Sir Winston Pickles and Timmy Novrex. That's crazy to me. I mean, honestly, it might be a blessing in disguise because like those guys have both been doing it so much longer than me. As good as I think I might be, I might not look that good in between those two guys. You know what I mean? So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I'm choosing to take it as like a sign of good things to come. Obviously, good things keep coming. So, but what you gonna call it? Well, I just blanked completely what I was gonna say. Oh no. I was worried about the interview. Like I know I have a minute. You know, I have a
Yeah,
few different minutes. I'm kind of still trying to decide exactly which minute to do. It's gonna be hard for me. I feel like I'm gonna black out and do the Versailles joke just because it's the one I've done the most. You know what I mean? But yeah,
yeah,
I was worried about the interview coming down here. Now I'm not. Now I have so much to talk about. Like so that's a
eh,
blessing.
yeah. No, that's true because you watch those interviews where it's like, "Oh, I do comedy and hang out." Like it's you gotta. That's something too. Like doing the grind of comedy. It's you gotta make
Yeah,
sure you're living life and make sure that you're still getting out there, having all around experiences, and
yeah.
because that will make your comedy better. So, uh, I was gonna ask. So, how long have you been doing comedy now?
Since just the beginning of this year. Like we basically started like together.
Wow. Yeah. No, I know. I was
Well,
thinking
wait,
about
but you said you signed up in 2023. So wait, you've been doing it longer than me.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit longer. So, because I started like the summer of 2023, but that was up in upstate New York, and there's not as many open mics, and
Okay.
yeah, so I started, but I'd
But you
say
started doing it like, consistently down in Florida.
yeah, yeah, we're I have the opportunity to do you know 5 mics a week if I wanted to, and shows on in Clearwater shows. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you can definitely like accelerate the process if you get up where, if you're only doing it once a week, you're not going to get better that much faster. But
Yeah, so
so
like I said, don't take it for granted, man. Like Clearwater, that's a great area to start doing comedy. Like it's like a lot more. It's a lot easier to get in with real crowds down there. I feel like than it is here. Like you're competing with so many other comedians here, obviously. Um, but I don't know. It's kind of easy to tell which ones are hungry and which ones aren't in a way. Some people are just going through the motions, and some people are like really trying to make shit happen. You know.
yeah, yeah, I can see that. And I have to say, like, I see like the stuff that you post kind of gets me fired up too, where it's like, hey, if you failed, good job, because a lot of people don't even try.
Exactly,
That's
man. Exactly. And like I'm 29 now. I got at least a year left of foolishness. I got to get my foolishness out of my system, and then I'll be what I'm gonna be. I always think of that joke, Donald Glover and his weirdo special. It's one of my favorite specials of all time. Probably seen it 100 times. He was like, whenever you turn 30, you are who you're gonna be for the rest of your life. And he's like, if you're a Republican and you're 30, you'll probably be a Republican for the rest of your life. He's like, if you're a Democrat, you'll probably be a Democrat for the rest of your life. He's like, if you're a girl and you turn 30 and you don't give blowjobs, he's like, come up to your cats and your Twilight DVDs because you're not gonna die alone.
uh,
but But the fact remains, like when you are 30, I feel like that, yeah, you kind of are who you're gonna be. So I got another year of exploring, seeing who the hell I am.
Yeah, I mean that's true too. Yeah, 20s are for messing around, and that's what's cool too is like comedy is something that you can be doing like until any age really. I mean, you see
Mhm.
like Ron White and Roseanne Barr like still crushing it, and they're got to be in their late
Yeah.
60s.
That's who would have been on my episode too. Was fucking Polly Shore and Roseanne. Like, oh, that would have been. I would have been trying to fuck Roseanne, man. I would have been spitting games. Roseanne, it would have been so good. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was giving good advice that night too. She probably could have like just given you that little piece you needed to, you know,
yeah,
just
she was really like preaching to people, kind of.
yeah. So
When are you gonna put this episode out? By the way.
uh probably in like 2 weeks.
Okay, perfect. So I can talk about this then, because I went and saw a Kill Tony show. I actually saw one live. It's almost impossible to get fucking tickets. So I got 2 tickets. I ended up bringing my buddy. He's actually from Sweden. Uh, Andreas. Yeah, he's really cool guy. So now I'm cool in Sweden too. If I want to go tour in Sweden, I got my connections. I got my
There you
connection to
go.
Sweden. I got my connection in Poland, Austin, Tampa. Um, but yeah, we went and the crazy. So it was a crazy episode. It was Ian Edwards and Adam Ray. Adam Ray actually like threw me a pin afterwards that I caught, which is sick. But Pauly Shore came out in the middle of the episode, like drunk as fuck, and he was like apologizing for the episode that I was supposed to be on. Because he was like tripping acid on that episode, I guess, and he was kind of like just talking nonsense. And he came out and he was like, "I'm just so sorry, I got banned from the Kill Tony universe. I want to make it up to you guys." And he was trying to like, but he was drunk, and Brian Holtzman had to come like pull him off stage, and then
Oh
Holtzman
man,
did like a couple minutes and shit. Like it was such a good fucking episode.
man,
It'll be out by the time before you put this out though. So yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that was funny because yeah, I remember watching Pauly Shore. He was like making like inside jokes, and then Tony was like, "Yeah, like the millions of viewers have no idea what you're talking about right now. Come on,"
Exactly. Yeah.
and like trying to be the host of the show and whatnot. But yeah,
Well,
Holtzman, he's I saw him when I went to Austin, and that
yeah.
guy's an animal too. Jeez.
An actual animal. Yeah. Like, yeah, Holtzman, I mean, he did a couple minutes and forgot even what he talked about, but he was so fucking funny, man. Um, but yeah, Paulie, because he said he was tripping acid on that episode that I was supposed to be on and stuff. And I saw him like after the show, I was walking in front of the mothership and I saw him and I got a picture with him. He was just not there. He was fucking, he was with his
Oh,
dog and he was just on the corner. I was like, why is Paulie Short standing on the corner by himself right now?
that's
But
hilarious. That's hilarious. That's sorry. Go ahead.
no, you were so.
Oh, I was just saying, like that's just cool, like to be there and like see like these like larger than life people and like just go like living their lives and like that's where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. Like like I said, you could throw a boomerang and hit like 3 fucking famous comics around the street at any given time. I've ran into Martin Phillips a couple times, Heath Cordes. Actually, man, I had one night where I met all these fucking people. Sure, I'll tell you about that. So it was like the day before Halloween. I went to this mic at Orabello's. It's like a pizza place. The host of the mic was that Mexican OT's dad. His name's Chuck. Super cool guy. He's like a jacked Mexican dude. He was wearing like a prison jumpsuit. And even during my set, I like made a joke. I was like, "Hey, you know you're allowed to dress up tonight, right? You're supposed to wear like a costume, right?" Like he looked like he was fresh out. But and then he just like he liked me, so he's like, "Hey, come ride with me, man." And we rode around the whole night. He took me like we went straight into the green room at like Sunset Strip, and I got to like meet Red Band, Rick Diaz, David Lucas, just a bunch of motherfuckers. And then we ended up going to another bar. We went to like 3 bars and we went straight in the back. Like everybody, he runs this fucking town. Like shout out Chuck. Chuck's the fucking man. And he introduced me to all these people. So I met Red Band and Tony in the same night at like different locations.
oh
Um,
no way.
yeah. And I met Red Band. He was super cool. Like I told him I was like an audio engineer. And like he was kind of, I mean, like as soon as I said Iowa engineer, he was like, "Oh," he's like, "My people, like one of my kind," you know. Like he kind of lightened up. But yeah, I had a good conversation with him. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, we went over to the Betty, and there was a back room there too. We walked back there, and I saw Heidi standing there with Tony, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And so I walked up, and I was like, "Hey, Heidi, what's up?" And I started talking to her, and I was like, "Hey, introduce me," you know. And she introduced me to Tony, and I was like, "Hey, I'm a big fan, man." And I started talking to him. I explained what happened, even about like me not missing my getting called and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, like that sucks." Basically, you know, he didn't really not much. He wasn't prepared to do anything, and
Oh, yeah.
then I think I tried to keep it short. I tried to be respectful. I didn't want to like be rude or anything. I walked
Yeah.
away, and then toward later, I was drinking quite a bit, and I was like, I gotta ask this dude for a picture. I was like, he's right next to me. I gotta try to get a pic. And I was like, hey man, I just want to ask, like, would you mind if I get a picture? And he was like, so when I come here, I'm here to be with my friends. And I want to be with my friends when I come here, and I come here just to hang with my friends. He said it like 3 times. I was like, oh fuck, okay, my bad. Yeah, I was like, I can't imagine what you go through, man. I was like, you have a great night, you know, and like, but
Was that
he's a
Tony who
little
said
bit of a
that?
kid. Yeah, he's a little bit of a dick, but like, it's exactly what you expect.
That's hilarious, dude. I could totally see him doing that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
did the voice perfect.
yeah. I need to make sure not to do that. I
Dude,
don't want to bring it up on stage. But Heidi said he's got his mind like a steel trap. She's like, he will remember you. Like he doesn't forget like anybody. Like so, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
oh, yeah, well, I mean, just like the way like watching him host and like being able to call back and like come up with stuff on the spot, like Tony's he's one of the best comedians right now for sure. I mean, he's so quick-witted,
On the spot for sure.
but that's hilarious. Ah, man. So, uh, have you like talked to like Redman about? You should have asked, or well, I'm not. Well, have you like tried to like see if you could like work at a comedy club? It seems like a lot of the people in Austin, they become a door guy or something to like get in with the club. Like, have you done any of that?
So I think I just literally like within the past couple of days kind of got in at Shakespeare's. Um, you know, it'd be great to work at Sunset Strip or like the mothership. It's just it feels like that's such a hard job to probably get. I should probably just apply anyway, you know. But I feel like a lot of the people that work there, like they've been on Kill Tony. Like they'll get on Kill Tony, they'll meet them, and then they get like offered a job that way. Actually, um, and so that I think is kind of the better way to do it potentially. But I also I came down here in my RV, and I got like a little spot in an RV park, and it's only like 4.5 miles from downtown. So I can ride my bike and shit if I need to. I just been spending a fortune on Ubers really. But I got a job at this little place called Callahan's, like right next, like it's 2 minutes from my house. Like I can ride my bike there, and it's like a feed store. And I'm like stacking and throwing bags of like animal food in the back of people's trucks, and I'm like wrangling pigs and ducks and chickens and shit. It's like real, hard work, you know what I mean? Good for the soul, you know. So I'm making my money that way, and then because I'm working like 8 to 5 every day, and then 5 to like 10, I'm trying to go hit mics and shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah, so how many you can hit like multiple mics in one night?
Yeah,
Too?
yeah. There's literally it. All you have to do is go to like Austin. It's like Austin Comedy something. I forget. I think might just be Austin, Texas Comedy. It's an Instagram, and they post every single day. They post like Sunday mics, Monday mics, Tuesday mics, and they'll have every single like mic that's going on in town listed and stuff. So it's really easy to find them. They're literally all over the place.
Yeah, and something about the mics there is I remember I think Shakespeare's that was a mic I did when I was there, and I remember it was free to sign up, and they even had like a bucket of like beers for the comedians too.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was cool.
Shakespeare was cool. I got really lucky. So I met this girl. Actually, I met her the same night I met Chuck, Mexican OT's pops. I got to meet Mexican OT that night too. That's some crazy shit. But my phone was dead. I didn't get to get a picture. But he was cool as fuck. Like, yeah, we went and got tacos together. um, but at that same mic where I met Chuck, I met this girl named Daisy Hart. Shout out Daisy, another very funny comedian. She invited me to come bark with her at Shakespeare's. And by the way, you realize how what many people don't understand what we mean when we say bark?
Yeah, no,
You
that's
did
something
that?
I did. Yeah, who was on the first episode of this? I had Mary Huddy. Shout out, go watch it. It's she's
Gotcha.
funny. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, that's a term that people don't really know. And maybe
Yeah.
do you want to just tell the viewers again if they missed the
Yeah.
episode?
Well, it's funny because I was telling my coworker about this because I was like, oh, I went to Shakespeare's last night and I barked for him, and then they let me get a spot. My buddy's like, barked for him? They have you on all fours? What the fuck you talking about? You barked for him? What do you mean? Like you thought I was like, get me a spot or some shit. But yeah, barking is just you go on the street and you hand out tickets and you try to get people to come in the club. You know what I mean? You're just free advertising for the club and shit, basically. But yeah, I went down and I helped Daisy bark on Friday night, and then the show got started kind of late, and so she actually had to run to another spot that she was on, some other show that she was on, and I actually kind of like took her spot. Even though he offered me 5, but he ended up letting me do like 7. I think I must have been doing all right. And then the next day, he hit me up and he goes, "Hey, I got another spot for you if you want to bark again tonight, like Saturday." I was like, "Oh, I was supposed to come see this girl," and I was like, "I don't know, I'm kind of tired and burning the candle at both ends." And I was like, "What?" This goes back to what I'm saying: just be in the right place at the right time. Just do what you can to be in the right spot. And I was like, "This seems like this is probably the right spot. I should do it anyway." I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it, man. I'll come bark. I'll do another 5 minutes or something." And then he sends in the group chat. It's like the lineup, and I'm first, and he's like, "Zip, 5 minutes hosting." I was like, "What?" So I
Wow.
was like, "Wait," and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, I got you hosting tonight," and I was like, "All right." Hell, I was like, "I must have made a good impression the night before. It was my first time fucking really performing there." I hit the suicide mic like after Kill Tony. They have a mic there. I've hit a couple times, but that was like an actual show I was on. He must have liked me, asked me to host, and then he was like, "Wait," because he after he already said to everybody that I was hosting, he's like, "You've hosted before, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I used to host a show every Friday in Clearwater."
You did
Live
host the
through my
bar.
fucking feed. Huh?
You hosted the bar.
Yeah, exactly. I was hosting my own little show essentially. But
Mm.
yeah, I just lied through my teeth and I was like, fuck it. Let me get my foot in the door here. And that went great. That went so good. I got so many good clips out of that because that's really the way to do it too. Like open mics are kind of trash but they're still good if you really just need to get up. Um then if you can get booked on shows, that's the next best thing. But if you can actually get hosting like that, I mean, because I did 5 to 6 minutes up front, and then I did like a minute to 2 between every single comedian. So it's like I got to do nearly like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So that's the best way to get content and get work in, really, is find a place that'll let you host.
right. And especially being new comedians, like when
Mhm.
you do get those opportunities to perform at, say, like a Side Splitters or like a big national club or that gets national recognition, that's where you'd kind of be starting off. So yeah, I hear, like I hear Jared Dykes on his podcast. He always talks about how he's trying to get a good experience hosting because that's kind of where we're going to be starting off before you're working on your 45-minute sets.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's it's funny too because I feel like regular non-comedians, they don't understand that there's a big difference between doing 5 minutes and 7 minutes. Those 2 extra minutes is a big
Mhm.
difference.
Like when I went up on Friday, he told me like 5 minutes to light me at 4, and I was just going, and I was going, and I was going, and I was like, I gotta be around. I was like, I gotta be around 4 minutes, and I didn't get a light, and I was like, I just started my Versailles joke. I started like the one I was gonna close with, and I did the joke, and I was like, still no light. All right, let me pull one more out of my ass. And I closed on a joke I didn't really want to close on, but I ended up doing what was it? When I checked my recording afterwards, it was like 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Like my mental clock was on. They just didn't like me, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, like even just having to do like one extra joke, I was like, oh fuck, like uh, it was a stupid joke too. I was like, what would I say? Well, Jennifer Aniston's dating a hypnotist now. She has a new boyfriend, and he's a hypnotist. I was just like, can we just give it up for that man? Like, he's got to be the best hypnotist of all time. He got you back Jennifer Aniston, man. That's crazy.
Funny. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
By the time, like, there's a big difference in 5 and 7 if you've never done it for sure. Or if you're not prepared, or not thinking you're about to do it even.
Yeah, definitely. And like as far as like coming up with like new material, like are you like writing with comedians over there? Or are you like how is your writing process going? Because I know you have some banger jokes, like the Versailles Burger King one. Yeah, that's one that came to mind. But yeah, how's your like material going? And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so I'm always writing. Like I used to make music, and I feel like I used to have songs kind of like come to me. Like I just hear a melody in my head, or I'd hear lyrics kind of just float through my head. And I've kind of rewired my brain to where it's like jokes now or pop it in instead of songs. Um, so I mean, I don't really get together and write with that many people, but there's this other comedian, Nikki, that I met. Nikki, I think it's Nikki Coleman. Forgive me, if Nikki, if it's not. But she's hilarious. She actually like does this shit. She's toured, like she's been on the road. She opened up for like Coco Brown the other day or something. Uh, and she told me she's like you write jokes. And I was like, yeah, like I'm a writer. I've been a writer my whole life. And she goes, I've never written a joke. I was like, what? She's like, I never written a joke. Like she just gets on stage and talks. She just lets what happens happen, I guess. And I've been trying to sharpen that side a little more because like I know how to write jokes at this point, kind of. You can always write better jokes and more jokes will come. And I have some I've written that are more structured and stuff. And but just getting up there and talking, you know what I mean? Like if you just get up there and talk and you let something happen, like you might get some gold out of it that would never have came if you were just strictly trying to stay to your jokes.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you rob yourself of new material in the moment in a way just by trying to stay to your jokes. So like that's why hosting was a great opportunity because you can't just get up in between sets and just tell your jokes. You got to get up there and like, how we doing? Like, what's up, man? How you got to talk to the crowd a little bit. You got to like I said something because I started the Versailles joke in between one of the host between two comics. And I was like, anybody from Kentucky? And nobody said anything. I was like, oh, cool. We all got our teeth then. And some woman
There you
was
go.
like, ooh. I was like, oh, you're from Kentucky? And she goes, no. I was like, oh, we're just cheering for teeth? Cheering for teeth? I was like, are you a dentist or the fucking tooth fairy? Like, that's the only two people that should be cheering for teeth, you know?
Yeah,
And that never would have that just shot out of me. That never would have. That's not something I wrote but now I'm going to use that. I feel like if I hear someone never cheer at the wrong point in that joke, you know what I mean?
that's yeah, that's and yeah, being like spontaneous too, like that's I feel like because there are nights where you can just go up and it's a hot crowd and like the jokes you have written are gonna do well. But on those nights where like you might need to work a little more or like I feel like at Clearwater, like some people want to be involved more. So if the crowd's being a little quieter, like you like talking to them, like kind of making fun of them and stuff like that. Yeah, those are good skills to have because you hear about comedians saying like, because some comedians they might blame the room or like it's just not a good crowd, but I mean, I feel like you gotta work with what you got and find a way to make it a good show if like they're a little more uptight. Would you say?
Yeah, like you got to have like I don't necessarily agree with Nikki to where you should never write jokes. I think you should be good at both. You should be able to get up there and just talk, but you should also work on jokes and write jokes because that's how you really get gold, in my opinion. I'm always a believer in writing, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's just comedy's not a thing. It's like there's no real wrong way to do it. I mean, everybody you just got to be you. You just got to do what you think's funny. I would always tell people when I was making music, just make music you want to hear. Don't try to make music that sounds like another artist or sounds like this, or you're trying to make a song to make people think this. It's like just make what you want to hear, and somebody else will like it too, probably.
true. That's true.
Mhm.
That's some wise words right there. That's someone that's been in Austin and doing the damn thing.
Hell
Because
yeah. I'll say this, you reminded me. Because like you always want to address something. If something weird happens in the crowd, don't blow past it. Like address it because the crowd's going to be wondering anyways. Like one of my first times performing at Clearwater, I was doing my jokes and I ended up talking to some guy, and the guy ended up saying that he lit his mustache on fire. And
well,
Yeah, and my dumb ass, I just didn't have experience yet, and I was like, I don't have mustache on fire jokes. And I was like, just get back. And I just kind of got back into my jokes, and I still regret that to this day. I think about that man, where I'm just like, I should have talked to the mustache on fire man. I should have talked to him for 5 minutes and abandoned my whole set because that would have been better than anything I did at that point. You know what I mean? It's just
Mhm.
recognizing that, taking the time to be like, something weird happened here. Let's all talk about it, and then we'll move on. You know?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, you have to address it, and that's something too where like I feel like when I get off stage, I'm like, oh, that's what I should have said. But
Yeah.
I think that's where getting on stage more and like just going for it more, and that's when eventually you'll just become quicker with it, like and in the moment instead of like 2 minutes afterwards. So
Have you heard of the show Bottom of the Barrel?
yeah, that's at the mothership, right?
Yeah, yeah. My Swedish buddy went and saw that the other day, and he told me how it was kind of inspiring to him to like, because it's these big comedians and they're pulling stuff out of the bucket and they're making stuff up on the spot. And he's like, it's like they take their time too. They're not all lightning fast. It's like they take it. They're like, oh, you dropped your grocery bag at Kroger. Okay, you dropped your groceries. Drop the groceries. You don't want to drop the groceries. All right, so you do. Like they take time to mull it over too. And it's like, if you're doing like a 5 minute spot or like 3 minutes, like, there's mics down here. They're like you get 3 minutes, 4 minutes and stuff, and it's like there it's hard to make yourself play with stuff because you don't have time to do it. You want to get your jokes in, but yeah, you just gotta move with the flow. You gotta follow the flow of it and see where it takes you.
That's true. Yeah, that's gimmick. Shout out gimmick. They do something like that on Wednesdays where they have the bucket where you pull like a topic out, and that's something where I'm like, yeah, that's like a really good skill to just work on, being able to come up with stuff like that. But yeah, so um, yeah. So I guess are you gonna be staying in Austin for the foreseeable future? Like, what would you say, like goals with comedy? Like, what are some things you're looking to accomplish in the next couple years?
Yeah, honestly, man, I got to remind myself that I'm new to this still sometimes because I was like, I do feel like I was such a natural like for comedy, and I mean I still surprise a lot of people when I tell them I've only been doing it for a year. But I need to remind myself I've only been doing it for a year, so I just need to keep doing it, and I'll only keep getting better. That goes for everybody else. The more you do it, the better you get. So I mean, after getting pulled first time I ever put my name in Kill Tony, I'm really just dedicated to getting on fucking Kill Tony at this point. I have to.
You have to now.
Once I get pulled on Kill Tony, I will consider if I still want to live in Austin or not. But until then, I feel like I'm stuck here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because now it's like you gotta write your story where it's like, you always think like, what if I did like, but like, nah, I see that. Like, but that's cool that you're committed to it. And
Kind of, well, like long term, I have had this one thought because I have the RV now, so like I come with a tour bus. I just need like a couple other comedians, and I mean, I got my family down in Tampa, Clearwater area now. I got family, I got people up in Nashville, and now I'm building a base down here. I think running that route would be fucking great. Like just going from Austin to Tampa to Nashville to Austin to Tampa to Nashville. On the way there, you get New Orleans. You can go through New Orleans. You can go through Little Rock coming from Nashville. You can go through Atlanta coming from Savannah, Georgia too. Like there's a lot of big cities in that little triangle right there. And if I can just meet enough people, like I said, I got the three main bases. I make some connections in Little Rock, some connections in Atlanta, some connections in New Orleans. You just run that route until you get your name out. You know what I mean?
yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, because you said you got some extra room on that tour
Yeah,
bus slash RV.
yeah, I got three beds.
Ah, man. Well, I yeah, I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, I definitely would love to take you up on an offer. Like, I gotta come see you out in Austin, man. Because yeah,
Yeah,
now that yeah, like after just being out for only a few months in going to Austin, I was
man.
like shitting bricks. If I was like, fuck, like I was almost relieved I didn't get pulled for Kill Tony, but obviously me and you both, like we're still young in our careers in comedy, but yeah, I mean, you just gotta
Mhm.
go out there and do it. So yeah, so one of these days,
I tell people this too. Like, I made music for like 10 years before I started doing comedy. And in music, like I got really good at making music in my room alone by myself, with a mic like this, like a Yeti mic, podcast mic. Um, but you can do that with music. You just can't do that with comedy. It's trial by fire. You just got to get on stage, see what happens. There's no way to get good at this in your room alone, you know?
yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, well, that's what's nice too, is like you kind of get that instant feedback where like you could be like working on a project for music in your room for months and
Mhm.
like you're not getting that like someone else's opinion, but like comedy a little different. You could just write a joke that night, go try it on the open mic and see if it get laughs or not.
Mhm. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a beautiful art form. I'm happy to be part of this. I'm in a great spot for it. So just gonna keep pushing, see what happens, man. Low expectations, high results.
Right. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna keep watching. I mean, I've been watching like every Monday just in case. Like, is this the Monday that Zip finally gets? Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude.
One of Taylor's friends, I think his name's Ethan or something. Yeah, one of Taylor's buddies, he hit me up and he was like, he was like, oh, I was watching, I heard Zip get called. And he goes, no way, it's the Zip I know. And I was like, how many Zips you know, bro? Like, how many Zips are out here? Like, but yeah, so there's people watching, man. It makes me happy. I've definitely had a few people hit me up and say that it's inspiring to them that I'm down here doing this shit. So yeah, that means a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a long-term thing. Like you hear like Shane Gillis like on Protect Our Park say like, well, I sucked for like 10 years before I got good. And it's like, yeah, all those headliners you see in their Netflix specials, they've been doing it for years. So yeah, just trust in the process and yeah. Well, shoot, dude. You ever think about coming back to Clearwater? Maybe do a little spot for the maybe like once the crowds get a little better.
Hell yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I spent my time in Florida. In no hurry to get back to Florida, I'll be honest. But that's the only thing that does make me want to come back is the comedy scene and you guys. I miss y'all. I was in Florida for like 3 years, and I felt like I kind of found a little village, a little family in those last like 6 months over there at Clearwater with all you guys. So I miss y'all. Pretty much nothing else about Florida.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we'll have to get a reunion of the that one podcast episode we did with me, you, and Cheo one day. Uh, yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Shout out to our Throwback Thursday to the last episode of the Two Sides of Funny.
Hell yeah, man. I'm proud of you too
July.
doing this thing, man. You're good at this. You need to keep doing this for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I feel like there's times where like brief moments where I bomb and or like I suck or like something goes wrong or maybe like the ladies upset that I went out to do a comedy like Mike instead of go to dinner or like just something like that and I'm like should I just quit, like no one really cares, but then it's like I'll take a night off, I'm like nah, like I'm in like I'm doing this, like this is what I want to do.
Stay in the rhythm. Just keep going, man. I really like the wheelchair football joke you posted. Actually, that was really good. That didn't get the love it deserved from the crowd but I was laughing my ass off at home. I swear to God.
Yeah, it got like an okay reaction, and then it went tag. Yeah, each tagged it like worse and worse. But
That was
hey,
good. I like that. That's good writing. Like really.
that's what's fun. It's like you don't know what's gonna be good. I feel like I write ones that I'm like, this is gonna be hilarious. This is gonna be like in my Netflix special one day, and it just sucks. And then I'll like think like, oh, this is so stupid, but I gotta at least just try it once. And then those are the jokes sometimes that end up sticking.
I saw one that bombed so hard the other day. I still think it's funny. And it's just a short little thing where I was like, I think that twins that get the same haircut should be thrown in jail because it looks like they're trying to fuck each other.
Twins.
Why you go get your haircut the exact same way as your brother? Why do you want to look just like him? That's attractive enough to you. I don't know. There's something there. But yeah, it's not. You got
Yeah,
to every now and then, man.
right. That's right. Yeah.
That might build into something. Like there's something I'm missing there, but there's bones. You know what I mean? If I do
It's a
it a
unique
couple more
idea.
times, maybe I'll think of something while I'm on stage.
Yeah, or maybe there's a reason why no one else has done a joke like that.
Might be a reason. Might be a reason. I did. There was this one mic I hit, and this guy, his mom, like the host's mom, was in the crowd, and I got up and I was like, "Hey, they're like, keep it going for your host, man." I was like, "Keep it going for your host, mom. Mom was in the crowd tonight." And then I just did a bunch of gross jokes, and he even like after I got off, he's like, "Thanks for shouting out my mom, then doing 8 minutes of the grossest jokes ever." I was like, "Oh fuck, I did do that, didn't I?" I completely separated that in my mind. I didn't. There was no correlation.
Right, dude. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, like you, and like that's why it's good to like have like a diverse repertoire of your jokes. Like like the dark and dirty shows at Clearwater, like that material you do on one of those shows, not going to be the same jokes you want to do like for like the Sunday matinee show where like maybe there'll be like some older folks or
Yeah, for
even like
sure. You got to gauge your audience a little bit. Like, and that's another thing. Like, if I could give a tip to like someone just starting, it's like sit in the club and watch the show. You know, like you'll get something in that moment that you'll think of that's funny, and like start with that. Like that's I feel like having like don't plan your opening joke until you're there. Get up there and say something about what's happened in the show, then get into your material because that like disarms the crowd in a way. It's like, oh, he's been here with us. He's been, he was paying attention too. You know,
Zip. That might have been the best advice you've given so far.
oh, yeah,
Because yeah, dude, that just made me think because I did a spot at a coffee shop a couple weeks ago, and like I just had like a silly like, oh, I like my women like I like my coffee, like
yeah,
just like that, But I've
exactly.
tried that. I've tried that not at a coffee shop, and it bombed. But since everyone's there drinking coffee, it
Mhm.
it hit. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
exactly. Time and place.
for sure, for sure. Well, um, yeah, dudes. Like, is there anything that you want to plug that you got coming up? Like anything you got working on?
Oh,
And
I
going.
mean, it seems like I'm in there at Shakespeare's. So come through to Shakespeare's to see me. I'll probably be there like Fridays, Saturdays from now on. Might be hosting one of those nights. I got a show at Gnar Bar on Tuesday, but this is not going to be out before that show. So go back in
Nice.
time and come see me at Gnar Bar. All right.
Right, right, and yeah, and keep watching Kill Tony too, because Zip is not going to miss this next bucket poll. Can
Yeah.
promise you that.
Hey, shout out Scandalous Ashley, Scandalous Official on Instagram. She got a podcast. She's letting me use her room right now. So shout out her for helping me out.
Oh no
Um,
shit.
yeah, man. Austin's a good place. I hope you get down here soon, man. We'll tear it up. I'll show you around.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I'll take you up on that. And I was gonna say that your backdrop, yeah, mentioning it now that we're at the end, but it looks like very podcast esque. Like so,
Mhm. Like,
that's where
she got a podcast where she interviews like rock stars and shit. Like she has a whole different vibe, but it's like, yeah, it's sick. Like she's been doing her thing. Also
cool.
follow me on Instagram at underscore ZIPAY. That's pretty much it. I got TikTok and all that bullshit too, but I really just post clips and leave it alone. Hit me on my Instagram. And also, if you ever want any more guests or something, dude, like I can holler some of my comedian homies down here and get some people on for you if you ever want to set up another one of these little Zoom things.
Yeah, no, yeah, dude. I'll have to hit you up on that one too, because we're I feel like there's so many comedians out in Austin and trying to stick out from the crowd, but yeah, no, it seems like there's a bunch of unique characters down there. So yeah, dude, we'll be in contact after this, but yeah, I think that's pretty good. So
Hell yeah.
thank you guys for watching. You heard it. Go follow Zip underscore Zip. I'll put it in the description too, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, link it right there. Put a link right there if you can do that. Right next to my thumb. Right there.
Yeah, hey Jerry, put the link right there to Zip. Yeah, right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, Gary,
But
do your job, Gary.
yeah, Jerry. Fuck, no. Before I call ice on you, no, no, he's
Hell yeah, brother. Hey, it's good to see you, my man. This was fun, for real. And let me know if you ever want to do this again. It was fun.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. Thanks for coming on, and yeah, like and subscribe, guys, and thanks for watching another episode of the Open Mic.